really appreciate you coming out and giving us this detailed overview of what the process is and how you're working against it.
Thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome.
And then my email address is crtaylor@pepco.com. C is in Charlie, R is in Roger, Taylor@pepco.com. Thank you very much.
Did everyone get that? Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to endeavor to get you out of here on time. You've been a great audience. You started on time. We're going to move right along. The next item on the agenda is Mr. Alex Hastings. Okay, we've already talked about that, Commissioner. There isn't, we will see if there is time, but we already talked, you said that there was.
Can we make a vote?
No, you're out of order, Commissioner. Is Mr. Hastings here?
Yeah.
Okay. If there is time left over, we'll see if we can, but we already talked about that, Commissioner. We endeavor to start these meetings on time and end on time, and we cannot have last-minute additions to the agenda, a day before the meeting, and that's what has happened. Excuse me, Commissioner. That is what has happened in this case. We certainly want everyone to be heard, and you have an opportunity to thoroughly assess the issues, but there is just so much that we can do in one meeting. So if there is time left over, and I understand that Thornton developers are here, we'll certainly try to see them in, but Mr. Hastings, go forward.
Hi guys, my name's Alex, and I'm proposing a building plan just in back of my house. It's a 2-story, 2.5-story garage addition with an additional bump out of the back of the house. You can see the plans here, and because I'm sorry, 1329 Holman Street. Yes. I know because sometimes these building plans are hard to read. I prepared some 3D renderings to be a little bit more illuminated as to what we're actually planning on building. And the park in question, as you can imagine, I need a zoning relief in order to build some of this. And the part in question is the garage in the back. I need a rear yard setback relief to build the 2nd story on the garage. And so I've applied for a special exemption. I'm hoping to get the support.
Mr. Hastings, do you have any plans for the commissioners?
I emailed them to you guys, I believe on Sunday night.
So all of them?
Yeah.
I got mine.
I apologize, though. I'm more than happy to print out copies if they want to you all.
Okay, go ahead.
So anyways, yeah, applying for zone relief of the rear yard setback, and I'm happy to answer any questions anyone has off the front end right now.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Generally, why do you want this?
I'd like to put an apartment on the back of the, or on top of the garage, short term to rent out, but sort of looking a little bit longer term. Both my parents and my wife's parents are getting up towards retirement age, and we would very much like to have them close by. We have a new grandchild that they'd like to see, and we'd like to have them keep seeing. So longer term, we're thinking about having at least one set of parents close by. Yeah.
Do other houses along your way have garages, or would you be the only one?
No, at least I think 3 other houses. It's a four house row, and 3 other houses have garages on that row.
And they have the addition to the garage, or will you be the only one?
I would be the only one with the 2nd story addition, correct?
Okay, I have another question, and I apologize for cutting it. Is it going to mess up the shading of the neighborhood, any of the scale?
I'm doing a sun study right now, and sort of my preliminary study on it is that most of the shade will fall into my own property, not much into the neighbors.
Did you look in, you have a tree back here?
Correct, yes.
You get a permit to remove the tree.
I will have to get a permit to remove the tree, yes.
Right, and so it's not, the footprint is not on the original garage. Is it wider than the original garage? It looks, the plans look like it's, I went by your house.
Yeah.
So I saw the footprint from the original garage, which was a 1-story tin structure that was in all the neighborhoods.
Yeah.
So you want to do the whole width of the yard?
The footprint of the The new garage will be about 4 feet shorter than the original garage, but also about 6 or 7 feet wider.
That's gonna mean it's gonna be the whole width of the rear.
It's not going to be the whole width of the rear yard. There are 2 parking spaces back there. You can see in the cameras. So there are 2 parking spaces back there now, and the garage would cover one of the 2 parking spaces, leaving the second parking space actually is parking for the apartment upstairs.
What has been your outreach to your immediate neighbors, and what's their feedback, and have they provided you with letters of support?
I've talked to, I think, all of the immediate neighbors. Some are here tonight, and they're all supportive of the project. I've gotten some letters of support, and hope to get more.
And the neighbors who are here that are your neighbors, can you just identify yourself by raising your hands? The 2 neighbors, are you on either side of 1321?
There's only one. I'm on the end, so there's only
So
one.
you're on the
side.
end, okay.
Lawrence is not here yet, though. He's not seen.
Okay, so how about the Oak Street? Because since I went by, really your neighbors are the people on Oak Street.
Correct, across the alley. I've talked to
And
some
across Oak Street.
Yes, for the 4 flats across the street too. I know the owner across the alley from me. I haven't seen him around lately. He rents it, so I don't see him that often. And I
They get the letter up. I talked to them, they got the letter.
the ones right across.
Yeah.
Oh, that's strange. It came back as returned. But the neighbors across the street, they're all rented, as far as I know. So I don't know who the owners are. They all were mailed letters, but I haven't heard from them. I'm hoping to hear from them, but sometimes it's difficult when the owners don't live in the residences.
What is the height of the proposed structure?
It's 24 feet, so a couple feet smaller than either the house across the alley or my house.
So shorter than your
Correct.
27?
I think it's 26 or 27.
So I think someone covered it, but is it actually gonna obstruct any sunlight or any view of the other neighbors that since you're in?
I can't speak definitively on it, but I'm pretty sure it won't. And I'll have the sun study up in the next couple of weeks. It'll be submitted to the Office of Zoning site, and it'll be available for anyone to look at.
And the proposed outer appearance, what is the proposed on making it look like?
Absolutely gonna do brick so it looks like all the other houses.
As part of your outreach, you also attended a Sunday meeting?
Correct. Last Thursday I attended the single member district meeting, and I believe there were no objections there.
How many people were in attendance at the meeting?
Do you remember?
About 20, 25.
Okay. And that was on August 6th?
Yes.
Your immediate neighbors or S&D?
They were S&D members.
I wanted to make a suggestion, but he can continue his presentation.
Okay.
I would like to see the sun study before we decide if we're going to support the project or not. And also, I'd like to see the letters of support from the neighbors.
The letters of support are all in the Office of Zoning side. I can print them out and mail them to you as well. And I can do the same with the sun study.
Well, Mr. Hastings, when you did reach out to me, I did indicate that I would put you on the agenda, and I expected that you would have the letters of support to inform our position. Because we want to make sure, that your neighbors are supportive of the project. Because we really endeavor to make sure that 5D is a good home for everyone, and that competing interests are balanced, and that people have an opportunity, to say whether or not that they want such a structure. And people typically complain about light and air, so the sun study, I'm glad that you're undertaking that. I think it's a good idea.
It's generally a requirement now by the zoning
Well, it's a
board.
good idea, because we always hear about people, well, my light and air has been impeded, and that's the biggest opposition, to structures on a person's property. No one wants to have their views blocked, and we want to make sure that your project, and certainly you've articulated, I think, a good reason as to why you want to expand your family, so that's a good reason. We want to make sure that everything, all the ducks are in a row. When are you going before the PCA?
On September 29th.
What I would ask is that you come back to this meeting, to bring us the letters of support and the results of your son's study, and that should give us more than enough time to provide you with a letter of support if that is the will of this commission, so that you can go forward to the zoning. I mean, not the zoning, the Board of Zoning Adjustment. Thank you so much. Is everyone good with that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Hastings, and we look forward to seeing you in September. Okay, next up, we have Bodega Market LLC.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Gary Gibson. I am from Bodega Market, 1136 Florida Avenue, Northwest. And my business partner, Sam, is here. The reason we are here is our store has a Class B license that is only grocery, beer. Okay. My name is Gary Gibson. I am from Bodega Market, and my business partner, Sam, is here. We are here to get the support from the community to get a license from Class B to A. What Class B is, like we sell groceries, beer and wine, and from all of our customers insisting us to get a liquor license. That means we're gonna get a Class A. So the ABC requesting the support from the community to get any support what we get from the people. And if you have any questions, me and him are with you.
Okay, so for clarification for the community, what will be the difference between the A license and the C license that you currently, B? My apologies. What's the difference in the two licenses?
Sure. Okay. Class B has beer, wine, and grocery.
Mm-hmm.
When you get a Class A, what you're gonna add is only liquor.
Okay, so I'm a non-drinker, so when I hear liquor, can you disclose what types of drinks? Because I don't
Liquor means up to now we're the alcoholic level for beer and wine on a Class B is up to 13%.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get a liquor license, you get in more than 13%. That's the liquor like beer and wine. So those are it has more than like a whiskey, vodka, something.
Anything that's not beer. Oh, okay.
Okay.
My question would be, do you know proximity of any other liquor stores around you already that a third one may be an issue?
No. What it is?
Where's the? I'm sorry. Where's the address?
1136 Florida Avenue.
Actually, we run next to Brother Liquor.
Brother Liquor.
The reason why we are creating our license is because Brother Liquor is no longer. So we give the chance ABC can.
Well, we glad.
He's
Oh.
honest, though.
Basically, we got the business opportunity, and at the same time, we can upgrade.
Well,
say-
well,
Okay.
are you finished?
Yeah.
There was, before you, Commissioner, there was a constituent in the back. Okay, I'm sorry, Commissioner, please.
Now, how long have you owned the store, the Bodega Market?
The Bodega Market.
Right.
Is there?
Almost 2 years.
3 years.
2 years.
So prior, before you going there, there was a great effort in the neighborhood to close both liquor stores. Go at Western Avenue, Florida Avenue, and at Montello and Florida Avenue. So I know we got new neighbors, and an apartment complex is going to go 2 doors down from you. There was a lot of fight about they didn't want retail, additional retail in that new location. What makes you think that we want a Class A store in the middle of the block next to people's homes and new homes that are coming up?
First of all, customers are demanding it. They're asking us since Brother Liquor is not there, and before as well. When Brother Liquor was there, they were asking us liquor, but we can't have 2 liquor licenses in the same.
No, I'm saying, but
you gotta be far away, 400 feet. So it was already existing. We just
right. I know it's already existing. Know very well because like I say, for years We've been trying to close those two. So why do you think we were trying to close those two liquor stores?
Our neighbors are asking for a liquor license.
I'm talking about your neighbors.
They're
We're trying to close.
We're trying to close. So
Right,
that
close
one,
those links.
we have no idea what the guys are trying to
Okay,
do.
We don't want
I
to
get the avenue he's going in, and I kind of want to piggyback on that. Okay, since it's been an issue for the neighborhood, what's going to be your security plan? How are you going to actually make your store different from what was formerly in the area? Because if you look, we're having major problems with our liquor licensees in terms of security, the cleanliness of the property, all of those good things.
Well, the cleanliness stores.
Primary would be safety. Cleanliness
We
is
do have-
important, but it's safety.
Commissioner Bugs, then Commissioner Shropshire.
Can you answer my question?
Well, before Commissioner Bugs, we will allow Mr. Demisi to answer.
Okay.
Well, with my comments, I will answer the question.
I would prefer if it came from the actual owner of the property, Commissioner Bugs. I did direct it to them.
Okay, from security wise, all the liquors we're getting is on a secure area. It's locked, it's on, it's
Behind.
locked behind the counter. Everything is locked. Nobody's gonna access us. From security.
Or what I meant by security is actually to prevent crime outside of the area or within the neighborhood. Because, like, I'm going to use Kovacs, not picking on them, but because of their establishments, there have been shootings and things of that nature. So we don't want to bring that negativity over to that space. So I understand your concern in protecting your property and goods, but I'm concerned about protecting residents.
I also just want to say, I posted this
ma'am.
summer at 13.
Ma'am, Ms. Brianza, can you please wait to be recognized? We're gonna recognize Ms. Bugs, Commissioner Bugs, then Commissioner Shropshire, then you.
I wanted to know, like, have you attended a single member district meeting? And what did the community say when you presented to them?
Yeah, we went to the meeting on last week, on August 6th, Thursday, and we explained. We were on a meeting on August 6th, on Thursday, and we explained for the community, and we asked the people if they have any objection or question or concerns, and we responded what we answered all the questions, like whatever question they question about Thursday on August 6th.
And the answer, we didn't have any objections, evidence.
Ms. Brianza?
I just have, I'm a business owner at 1358 Florida Avenue Northeast, and I can say that we have plenty of alcoholic beverages in the neighborhood, and we also have plenty of people sitting on stoop, drinking them and leaving trash all over the street. So I would say, I'm not an expert on getting liquor licenses for retail stores, but I would love to see, as a business owner in the community, a petition signed by people within 500 feet of your location that want to have that business there. That's what I would really love to see.
I would say at the meeting, I would not agree with the statement there were not objections. There were a lot of concerns about where the liquor would be kept in the store. It's a small store, it's always full of children, and there are already loiterers that sit outside on the tree box that are there at all hours. So I don't know, perhaps
I did
Commissioner
explain.
Bugs can give a better explanation of what happened in the meeting, but there were a lot of concerns raised by people at the meeting.
Thank you. Any other questions? Commissioner?
Just two things. I would actually also love to hear what happened at the meeting from Commissioner Bugs, but would also point out that it doesn't look like you all have a settlement agreement in place at all. And so I would sort of wonder if that's not a solution to some of these problems.
There was no, they do not have a settlement agreement, and, Ms. Ramsey is right, they did have a lot of concerns that Mr. Leakey and, I can't pronounce it. Jenny, did, say that they would address. I spoke to them about, getting a settlement agreement, but they didn't have any opposition about the Class A license being there. They just wanted to, they talked about more lighting, and other things like that, but, you know, the store, how the store was gonna maintain the alcohol, because it's a small space. And, so they answered these questions, but they had no opposition in the store for the store being there.
With their current license, but when you're switching license, that changes the scope of what's going on. I'm not saying they should not be there, but will I support additional liquors there? That's a completely different story.
Thank you.
I have a question about things besides the alcohol. You said also groceries, are there going to be other things for sale besides alcohol, or are there going to be
You ever been in a store?
No.
Okay. The store is like a 7-Eleven, almost, beside the.
So there will be
So basically,
actual
we
groceries?
actually have like regular store, convenience.
It's probably like Northeast
The only
Market.
thing that is we don't have that's different from
One
7-Eleven.
final question, and we're going to move on.
We don't so we don't have the hat food. We got everything else. The liquor is going to be at the back. The liquor is going to be in the back, spacing wise. When the lady stated that where we going to put the liquor, we have enough space to put the liquor at the back, where we at, where it's covered.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, I actually live down the street from this market, and I have been in there a lot. I can say with the liquor store on the corner, Brothers, that had been through several owners in the years that I've lived over there. And the most recent owners, actually, there had been some issues at the store previously, and they had taken steps and pretty much gotten rid of the watering. They had refused to sell to a lot of people. They really weren't selling, certain product, like the small things of Ellicott. They had the stuff, but they were like, no, it's $5, it's $7. To give these guys, just a clear signal, they did not want people who were going to come in there and cause a problem. And if certain products were associated with that, they just weren't selling that product. I think that, maybe some of the loitering out front, some other things could be addressed. These guys definitely have a lot of groceries in there. There's a little area with fruits up at the front when you first come in. I think that Commissioner Roberts might be right that I unfortunately didn't make it to the S&D meeting, but I think that maybe getting a good voluntary agreement that's really solid, discussing a lot of the concerns and making sure that it's actually enforced and that you guys are really working on it, I would not have a problem with this.
Okay, final question.
How many employees do you have to run this business?
At the moment, we do 2 and 1. One is stuff in the inventory, rotating, and 2 cashiers. We are actually trying to get it bigger. When the liquor comes, we need a second register, so it makes the flow fast.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this licensee has been, there's a protest, there's a petition date. So I would think that in order to move forward and to allow the applicant enough time to really answer questions about a proposed security plan and the scope of their business, that this commission should actually vote to protest the request, and that way it gives us an opportunity to go before ACRA and see if we can actually get it, enter into a voluntary agreement. At this time, I put a motion on the floor that we oppose the change to Class A.
I second the motion.
It's been moved and properly seconded that we oppose the applicant's request for a Class A license. Discussion, Commissioner Roberts.
What is the petition date?
24th,
August 24th.
And keep in mind, they're changing it like this, so we won't, with them not getting a Class A, they won't be going out of business. Because they're moving up from B to A. And so,
Thank you, Commissioner Lee. Any further discussion? Are you ready for the vote? Yes, ma'am.
What hours of operation be?
It's going to stay the same
And what are
from 9 to 11.
9 to 11. Okay. All right, Commissioners, are you ready for the question?
yes.
All in favor, please raise your hands. Protesting the license. Any opposed? Any abstaining? The motion passes. So we look forward to working with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
No, 9 to 11. So far, so good.
Also, one question, how many days a week are you guys open?
7.
That's a lot.
7 days a week, okay? Thank you. Moving on, we're going down to administrative matters, and if we can get in the Thornton developers, we certainly, since they're here, we will. If not, we'll see you next month. Right now, Commissioner Shropshire, can you provide the treasurer's report?
So I have two things. I have the quarter 3, yeah,